Yeah. Coke fed, press some hand, let's get in the car. I said she grabbed my hand, girls resting, met the bar, witness said, tears fled the head, I'm waiting, I guess she tweet, I guess she confess, she thinking less, not drinking less, bathroom says, best to get spontaneous, I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as I rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't touch my perk.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your OKC Thunder post-game analysis show. I usually don't do games on blowouts, but my friends have been giving me a hard time about it, so I thought, well, what the hell, I'll go ahead and do one since I'm at home and watching the game tonight. What's up, babe? What's going on? What it do, big dog? I didn't get to see the game. So mad there wasn't much of a game. There wasn't. You didn't miss a whole lot. The Thunder, in the first quarter, we were up 49-24. And then Dagnall does what Dagnall does, and his not understanding flow of the game. And he just stuck with who he's going to stick with. And we lost our lead again. And then by the time he put SGA, because it's funny, the second quarter, the score was 63-39. Was 6 minutes, 20 seconds ago. And he brings in Dort instead of for Isaiah Joe. And so on the court, he's got A.J. Mitchell, Lou Dort, Barnhizer, Chet, and Ihart. That's who he's got on the floor. And within 5 minutes, with 5 minutes left to go in the game, or not go like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, he puts SGA in. It's 63-45 at this point, and they're on a run. And you've got SGA, SGA, A.J. Mitchell, Dort, Carlson, and Jay Will. And Jay Will is doing what Jay Will does, trying to do all this stuff. Dude, get the basic stuff, man. Stop trying to be all cool and just do basic basketball. Just make which he came out and doing. That's my thing with Dagnall. He is a great developer of talent, but my thing is this: when your team gets out of whack and starts doing stupid stuff, pull their ass out. Let them know quick, hey, we're playing Thunder, but it ain't Thunder basketball. You have to try to be cool, throw behind the back passes and all that nonsense because you're up by 30. The wheels changed real quick. And SGA came in, he had 12 points in the first quarter. He had 13 points at halftime. He scored 1 point and it was on a free throw. He took 0 shots the second quarter. 0 shots the second quarter. You're not going to beat people doing that. And I understand everybody gets into a flow and it's like, oh, we got this and we're going to kick their butts and it's the Pelicans. And it really doesn't work that way. It really doesn't work that way because we lost to the Blazers because of that. Same thing. He had SGA, he had Barnhizer, he had Jang, he had Carlson all on the floor at the same time with Jay Will. Who you gonna be? You're not gonna beat nobody doing that. And they came back. We were up 22 and lost that lead. And it just it just frustrates the hell out of me. Let me see. What's up, Jay? What's going on? What's good with you, big dog? How you been, man? He should have kept Shea in, and I was looking for that play-by-play. Well, this is my thing. He in the second quarter, he does this every single time. He'll put Dort in when there's not, and this is my frustration with him. And I told, I get mad all the time about this. This is my frustration with him. Once again, in year 6, 7, he has no understanding flow of the game. 0. You would have figured he'd figured it out by now. When your team is not scoring and they're struggling in the first, you go, oh, let them play through it. Well, if they're not doing it, they're not doing it. Pull their ass out. You're going to get more out of pulling a guy out saying, hey, you got to get in there and step up play. If that's how you're going to play, you ain't playing. Real simple. Real simple. They'll get it together. Pull their ass out. Hey, come sit down. He'd do that to Dort last year, taking all the threes and acting, thinking he's the scorer. Pull his ass out. That'll stop all that nonsense, all the behind the pass. Hey, you going to do that? Come sit down. We're trying to win basketball. That's not what you do. You don't have that in your skill set. And instead, he's like, oh, no, it's okay. It's like, no, it ain't okay. Sit your ass down. Promise you, Phil Jackson does that. Sit your ass down. Come sit down. We're trying to win a game over here. We ain't trying to give a team hope. You get down 27, 28, or whatever it was, you got your foot on it. Don't take your foot off the throat. That's the kind of stuff that frustrates me with this guy. It just does. But he coaches differently, and like, well, he's 12-1. No, he ain't. The Thunder are 13-1, now 14-1, 126, 109 victory. SCA's, by the way, 87th consecutive game with 20 points or more, and we're now 23-1 without J-Dub, which is just mind-boggling to me. That here's the second best player, and in some people's mind, a person has more upside than SGA, which is just insane to me. When people say that to me, I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about basketball. I can't talk to you. You're out of your mind. You're a non-basketball player. Only non-basketball players say that. And if you're a basketball coach and you're saying it, you're trying to kiss the coach's ass and not make nobody mad, because you know better. J-Dub is a very good player doing what he does, but he does not have the skill set. I don't care if it's year 3 or 4, whatever. He doesn't have the skill set. He just does not have the skill set. He just doesn't. And this is let me see. This is year 4 for him, because year 1, we won 40 games, then we lost to the Mavs, then we won the championship. So this is year 4 for him. So I said, look what SJ was doing with year 4. Jeremy, I hate when Dort be driving to. I agree. Dude, just shoot the damn basketball. I don't want you trying to do anything. You're not capable of doing that. And it's so funny, on the Canadian national team, you don't see Dort doing all that. We need you to play defense and shoot threes. That's all we want you doing. And only open threes. That's all they have him doing. But Dagnall trying to develop it. Ain't no development. No development. It's no development there. I'm not, no. I mean, but that's just me as a coach versus him as a coach. It is what it is. Thunder 14-1, 126, 107. And I forgot to get the number of double-digit wins we have this year. I know that we're winning by an average of 15.4 points per game, which, of course, we definitely accomplished that tonight. The over-under was 17.5. The spread was 17.5, which we eclipsed that, and then the over-under was 223. I believe it was 223, and we eclipsed that, so we got the over. He's better than Shea defensively in the open court, but offensively, not even close. Shea is the best in the league offensively. I'm not a fan of Jokic's game. Sorry, not that sorry. Okay, well, he's a better defender to some extent, depending on what you're doing. He can defend more positions than SGA, 100%. Let's say that, because he's physically better, but he does not have more upside than him. He just doesn't, and he does not have even remotely the offensive skills that SGA has. And I tell people all day long, if you're not an offensive person, there's shooters and there's scorers. Shooters are people who catch and shoot, which is Isaiah Joe. Scorers are people that SGA, Steph Curry, Ant-Man. Those are scorers. I can take you off the bounce, dribble. I can step back and shoot threes. I can get to the basket, get my mid-range. Whatever I want to get, I can get. That's a scorer, plain and simple. And J-Dub is a nice player, but he's not even remotely as close to SGA. And let me even separate it even further. SGA and Jordan are the only two to do what they did as far as averaging 30, shooting 50, with 1+ almost 2 steals a game, and shooting 50%. Jordan did it I think it was 4 times. SGA's done it twice. J-Dub haven't done it once and not gonna. So that, whatever you're saying to me, I'm saying best overall player. I'm out on that. And AJ, I like AJ, but he has no. Once he goes to the basket, he's going to the basket. He puts his head down, and I'm going to score. He has no. I mean, SGA was wide open for a 3. Give him the ball. He doesn't do it. Who else was open tonight? Kaysen was wide open with his hand. Nobody guarded him. He just took it to the house, tried to do some sort of right hand scoop move, missed it. He's wide open. Now, the difference between him, SGA is going to go to the basket. As soon as they collapse, he's going to kick it out, looking for the wide open shot. Now, if he goes to the basket, he's going to finish. That's the difference between the two. And A.J. Mitchell is he frustrates me with that one thing. Pelicans 12 for 28 from 3. Thunder 17 for 42. We out-rebounded them 38-35, and Pips pointed in the paint. That's a lot of points, 48 points. We don't give up that many normally, but that's a lot of points. And then 16 turnovers to their 20. We just looked like we weren't really there. we looked like we weren't really there. Of course, the bench outscored us 47-37. AJ has tunnel vision. That's why he needs to look around and work on his selfishness. I agree. I agree 100% with that. iHeart tonight in our box score. iHeart, 16 points and only 7 rebounds. He did not get a double-double tonight in 27 minutes, but I thought he played really, really good. He kept his hands on the ball. And how many offensive rebounds? He had 5 offensive rebounds. That's 10 to 15 different. That's 10 points to 15 points difference right there by giving us second chance shots. Chet, 33 minutes, 26 points. He was phenomenal tonight. Chet was a beast, getting tip ins, getting his hands on the ball, finishing at the basket. I thought Chet played knocking down threes. You can see he was 3 for 5 from 3, 5 for 9 from the field, 10 for 10 from the line. Chet, outstanding tonight. The big fella did some work. He did serious work. Then SGA, he was, 9 shots, really. 5 for 9, 3 for 5, 10 for 10, 29 points. 23 points in 29 minutes. What do we say? He's really good, and we're really lucky. Talking about, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Herschel Walker trade with Dallas, what they did by getting rid of Herschel Walker and getting all those draft picks and doing all that. And they basically fleeced the NFL. And if Jerry Jones hadn't got sideways with Jimmy, I believe they could have won at least 3, 4, probably 4 in a row. Because my guy, Coach Switzer, and I love me some Coach Switzer, came in that first year they got beat by, I think, was a BS call. I think that, or non-call. Deion fouled Michael Irvin on that play, and they did not call it. In today's game, they'd have called that for sure, which is ridiculous. But the bottom line is that, and I just think that that's going to be the difference in Sam Presti fleecing. And remember, we could have 4 first-round picks this year because the Jazz, they're not going to give up their pick. I can promise you they're going to lose games. They're not going to let us get that pick. Danny Ainge is not going to give up a lottery pick to us. That's not going to happen. I promise you, he'll do what he needs to do to force them to lose again to get another lottery pick. I can promise you he's not going to give it to us. Now, the Clippers, on the other hand, the way that they're going, I see us possibly getting a chance at a lottery pick. Because right now I think we have 2 top 12 picks. I think 2 top 12 picks. I think we have 4. We have ours plus 1 others and plus those 2 Clippers and Jazz, and they're both in the top 10 right now. So we have 2 top 10 picks, 4 picks in this draft, which is ridiculous. Let me see. Coach Switzer was the reason they didn't win in '94. He just had a different mentality. They went from the teacher to the substitute teacher, but they still won the next year. And Coach Switzer is one of 3 coaches to win a national title in college, and then to win a Super Bowl. Jimmy Johnson, him, and Pete Carroll, only 3 to do it. Lou Dort, 28 minutes, 11 points. Lou shoots about right. I just don't want. I hate him going to the basket trying to create plays. That's just not who he is. Even though he's trying to be something he's not, he hadn't played. And, the pressure's on him. It really is because he sees the writing on the wall with Casey Wallace. There's no way he doesn't. He's seeing that, so he's putting himself under some pressure. Oh, I can score. I can do more than play defense. Boy, if you can be first team all defense and knock down threes without turning the ball over, trying to do a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of stuff you're not capable of, I'm okay with that, 100%. Casey Wallace, love me some Casey. 7 points, 28 minutes, 3 for 10. Could have shot the ball better, 1 for 4. He starts pressing. Don't like that. Jay Will tonight. 0 for 1, 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. But I think he played okay. I just didn't like 4 turnovers. Him trying to be all cool. Dude, just do basic basketball. Play basic. Please, do basic stuff. Brandon Carlson, bro, you got to knock down shots 1 for 3 from 3, and you're wide open like Jay Will. You got to make those shots. You're wide open, bro. Isaiah Joe, 14 points in 26 minutes, 5 for 11, 4 for 10. Hey, decent night. But, you're a shooter, and you're shooting wide. You took a couple shots that I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? And A.J. Mitchell, 11 points in 26 minutes, 4 for 14. 0 for 4 from 3. Like I said, AJ, you need to work on your threes. And just give the ball up when that double team comes and SJ sets the screen, he's up at the top. Go find your spot on the wing. Let SJ do his deal. He will hit you. He is very unselfish. He will hit you with the ball, which you will not do for him or someone else. He will hit you. Just work on your three. I've been saying that. 38% from three, 49% from the field, 82% from the line. Once again, we're handling our business on the offensive line. Let me see. Usman Jang is a free agent next year. Yeah, I don't. They get Usman. I haven't been a fan of his. He's not the guy. He's another European guy. Poku was another European guy. He's trying to find that guy. Now it looks like, unfortunately for us, Topic, he may be another guy that we just didn't, we're 0 for on European players. Josh is really not a European player, even though he's from Australia. International, let's say international. Let's do international. That's better. And I love me some Josh Giddey. And he's doing great there right now for, what is that right there? Oh, I got a little tear or something. Oops, need to fix that. It's a little something on my deal here. I need to fix that. That's going to drive me crazy right there. That's going to drive me insane. That little thing right there on my head. That's going to drive me crazy. Anyway, my thing is this. I don't bye Topic. I just think that with what we have right now, guard-wise, let's look at who we have. We have SGA. When J-Dub gets back, you're going to have SGA, J-Dub, Dort, Chet, Ihart. That's your 5. Then you have AJ Mitchell. You have Kaysen. You have Caruso. That's your 8. Wiggins possibly is your 9. Joe at 9-10. Your 9-10 is Joe, Wiggins, K-Rich when he gets healthy, and J. Will. That's who you got. And then depending on who you're playing, depends on what you do and who plays and who doesn't play when you get fully healthy. Oh, Caruso. I forgot about Caruso. So it's SGA, J-Dub, Dort, Chet, Ihart, AJ, Kaysen, Caruso. That's your 8. Wiggins is 9. Yeah, I did that right. Okay. That's and then I just like what our squad is. Don't you? Now the question is, what are we going to really do? Because this year, when you look at our schedule coming up, okay, here's our where is it at? Here it is. Here's our schedule coming up the next 5 games. Okay, we have the Kings on Wednesday. We have the Blazers. We have, I think Wednesday. It's either Wednesday or Friday. Was it against the Suns? Anyway, our city, I think it's against the Kings on Wednesday City, which is going to be great because I want to see what our new city uniforms is going to be look like in the court and all that. So I want to see what that's going to look like. But here are next. We have the Kings Wednesday, which is the third time in fifth. This will be the 16th game. So third time in 16 games. So we're basically done playing them. I think we have to play them one more time at home, or maybe one more time on the road, and then we'll be done with them. And then that'll be great for us because we need to get done with them. But we're 2-0 against the Kings, and they will have some bonus this time, so that's going to make a difference. Then we have to go to Salt Lake City, which is going to be tough. The Blazers at home, the T-Wolves at home. And by the way, on the 28th, that's when SGA will tie Wilt Chamberlain for the second most all-time scoring 20-point games in a row. November 28th, that game against the Suns, okay, he will tie that record, okay? Because, let me see, the Kings is on a Wednesday, the T-Wolves is on Wednesday, and then the Suns will be on Friday. So Friday the 28th, SGA will tie Wilt Chamberlain for the second most 20-point games in a row. Now, he'll break the record at 93. He will break that in Portland that night. He will become the second all-time leading scorer. Consecutive. He will come to second place as the most consecutive 20-point games in a row at 93. The record is 126 with Wilt. And then SGA on March 7th, mark that down on your calendar, he will break the record, Wilt Chamberlain's record, on March the 7th. If we win the 2 games during the cup, which I believe we'll win. And the only game that does not count in the cup is the finals. Whoever you get to the championship game, that does not count on your record as a win or loss. So, but the other 2 games will count. So if he does those, plus that March 7th will be the game that he breaks Wilt Chamberlain's record and becomes at 127 and becomes the most consecutive 20-point games in history, which is quite an outstanding accomplishment for the big guy. Plus, on top of that, for the Thunder. So anyway, when you look at the schedule, the Kings, that should be a W, you would think. And I think we'll go 9-1, maybe 8-2 at worst in this schedule because we got some tough games. We have the T-Wolves. They want us really bad. The Jazz is always just tough to beat them in Utah. This is a tough game. We want the Blazers because that's our only loss. The Kings with Sabonis is going to be a different team. And then you have the Suns, and the Suns are playing really, really well right now. They're playing really good. So that's something that you got to be worried about. Let me see. Jeremy says, I think Topic will be better than you expect. I'm watching him play. I don't have a problem with Topic. He passes the ball, which he's way better passer than Josh. Defensively, he's a little bit better than Josh, but what he gives you with the ability to make passes and sees the floor is just crazy. They both see the floor quite well, and we missed that. But I don't know where you're going to play him. Who are you going to replace, AJ? AJ has been killing this past summer. He separated himself from Topic, I think, this summer. Then now what he's doing now, I mean, where are you going to play him? Who are you going to play him in front of? Because remember, I gave you the eight players that are going to play all the time. Who are you going to take out? I mean, who's not going to play? AJ, you going to take Wiz minutes, Cason's minutes, SGA's minutes, J-Dub's minutes? Who that handle the ball? Whose minutes are you going to take? Because the people that handle the ball is SGA, J-Dub, AJ, and Kaysen. Those are the 4 primary ball handlers or whatever, but it's really J-Dub, SGA, and AJ. So which one of them are you going to take away minutes for him to play? That's a $1 million question. Well, he's definitely not Giddey, and I agree with that, but he's a little bit better passer than Giddey. Other than that, they're pretty much right there on target, I think. Basically the same guy. Let me see. See, I can't rock with him. If he's going to play, we got to give him support, right? If he's going to play, we have no choice but to give him support. Okay? We have no choice but to give him support. Now, in the NBA games tonight, the Clippers, once again, lose to the Sixers. The Clippers, we want them to lose. Okay? We want the Clippers to lose. That's a must. Pacers and Pistons, when you look at this game, Pistons, they're rolling. They are absolutely rolling. And I told everybody at the beginning of the year, they're a team to watch out for because I saw them play at the end of last year, and that boy Cade Cunningham, go Pokes, has been an absolute monster. He really has. The Bucks and the Cavs needed a must-need win for them. They're going to be better than what people think. I'm not worried about them. The season's early. With Donovan Mitchell, they're going to be fine, and especially with that the Twin Towers they have, they're going to be fine. Raptors beat the Hornets. Okay, 110-108. And the Knicks lost to the Heat in Miami. That was a big win for the Heat doing what they did. And then, of course, the Thunder 126-109. Then the T-Wolves smashed the Mavs, the poor Mavs. I mean, they're just beat up. I mean, the problem is trying to trade Anthony Davis. Who are you going to trade him to for what? He's got a big, huge number contract-wise. And what are you going to get for him? Because he's always hurt. So I don't know if he's tradable. And then, of course, the Bulls beat the Nuggets. The Nuggets finally lost. They had won 7 in a row, I believe, and they finally lost. And so you got to love that. I have OKC and the Sixers. Yeah, I know you keep saying that. I just don't see the Sixers coming out of the East. I really don't. Because I just don't see – I don't see them being healthy enough. I just don't see that. I mean, I know you do. I just don't – I don't see that happening. I just don't see it. I mean, I think they can, but if Embiid is healthy, possibly. If Embiid's not healthy, they're not going through the East. They're just not. They're just not. They can't beat somebody 4 times. They don't have the ability to do it, even though Maxi's on a tear and they'll get Paul George back and who knows what he's going to do, but they just don't have, they can't, I don't think they can beat the Knicks. I don't think they can beat, I don't know if they can beat the Magic. I don't think they can beat Detroit 4 times. That's what you have to do. So a healthy 76ers, that's what I'm saying, a healthy 76ers. But the question is he going to be healthy? Because his other knee now, Paul George, what's he going to bring? Paul George is a shell of what he used to be. And he was a monster. He was probably one of the best two-way players, in history. Love me some Paul George, especially when he was at Indiana before he broke his leg in the Olympic thing. He was an absolute killer. But, you never know how things are going to turn out and what things are going to be. So that's how I look at that. We'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit those guys up. They love to take care of you and make sure all your needs are handled. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit those guys up over there. They love to be move and be your source for moving dirt, rock, and sand. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. The equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynb.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you go to the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, and 66 steps from historic US 66, Route 66. YMB East was off the Parkway and 39th Expressway, or Route 66. And YMB Mustang is off 218 North Mustang Road. YMB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there in front of the Fairfield Hotel, not the Fairmont. And then, of course, YMB People is located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. The House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760, guys. I can't tell you how great this stuff smells. And those of you all who have gone by and told them that you had come by for us because of us, we appreciate your support. And I'm sure they hooked you up with some samples. I'm just going to tell you, you won't be disappointed. And they've got great smelling stuff for women as well. So go take care of that. The House of Creed, like I said, handcrafted since 1760. As they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And I believe that 150%. 150. Let me see. DJ Edgecombe, yes. And I agree with what you're saying. But Edgecombe is too young. He's a rookie. And they're just not there. I understand what you're saying about Philly. I like Philly. But if they don't have Embiid, they're not beating somebody, whether they have Paul George or whomever. They're not beating anybody without Embiid. That's not happening. He's got to be healthy. Paul George has got to be healthy and rolling. You got some nice pieces with the other, that's fine. But you ain't going to beat nobody 4 times. Now, you're not beating nobody 4 times with that group and not healthy. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's just not. Because you got the Knicks that you got to worry about. You got the Cavs you got to worry about. And you got that monster in Detroit you got to worry about. They're rolling. And they're only gaining confidence because I watched them play last year and you could just see what they were bringing. And they gave us all we wanted when we played them there last year. All we wanted. Now, we smoked them here, but they gave us all we wanted there in Detroit. And Casey Wallace was magnificent that night, if I remember correctly. And he saved us, and that's when one of the games that J-Dub missed, and we won 5 straight or whatever without him. Now, let me get this straight with everyone. I'm saying that we're winning without J-Dub now. We're not going to win a championship without J-Dub. That's stupid. If he's not 20 points a game and, 6 rebounds, 7 rebounds, and 5 or 6 assists and a block, maybe a steal, we ain't winning. And the only reason why he won, he was on the all-defensive team, is because Caruso did not qualify 65 games. Because you're going to try to tell me that you would rather have that J-Dub is a better defender than Alex Caruso? I want whatever drugs you take and whatever you smoking, give me some of it, because you are high, if you would think that. Not happening. But that's why he was on the team, and he was a benefit of everything last year, the perfect storm for him to get done what he needed to do. One call changed in Detroit. Yes, I agree. We almost lost. And SGA closed the door on them again, but it was Cason Wallace and the things that he did made all the difference. But we almost lost, but we didn't. And because we were a juggernaut then. And here's the difference, and this is what I tell people. You have to go back to 2021 when we drafted Josh, and we won 20 whatever, 23, 24, whatever it was. And you could just see from the middle of the season what was transpiring between SJ and Josh. And then Dort and our defense. Our defense started establishing itself right there with Wiggins. I think K. Rich was on the team then too. And we had, Robertson. We had him too. And Jeremiah Earl, that's who we had. We had him. And so when you look at who we had and what we were building, then the next year, what do? We get J-Dub and Chet. Chet doesn't play. We win 40 games. By the way, remember, I'm the only one that said that we'd win 40. Everybody told me I was out of my mind. I'm like, I'm watching something different than what you're watching. Just like now, I watch differently than you watch it. You're watching things I'm not even paying attention to. I'm watching things you're not even remotely paying attention to because you don't see. So what I'm looking at and what was going on was different. I said, we're going to have a squad. Then 23-24, we, number one seed, loses Dallas. The 2024-25, number one seed, we win it all. 25-26 will be the number one seed again, I believe, and we should win it all again. But this is the difference. I agree with what SGA said. He's very disappointed in how he played number one, or how the team played he played number one and how the team played. And I agree with him 100%. He did not play well in the playoffs, and neither did our team. So I believe that learning experience and what we had, the difference between us and Boston, when Boston made their run, because you have a 5-year window. Boston had their run, they kept losing because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum couldn't figure out how to score baskets. They switched up. They added a couple of players, Porzingis, and made out Drew Holiday, made all the difference. They won it all to go with the team that they had. What we've done is we built slowly, starting with SGA and Josh, then SGA J-Dub, then SGA J-Dub Chet Cason, and then SGA J-Dub Cason, not going for Dort, and then you added in iHeart or Chet, then you added iHeart and Caruso. So you've had the basic of who? SGA and Dort have been there the whole time with Wiggins, I believe, and J-Dub. K. Rich. Those are guys have been there since that turn when Oklahoma City made that deal, when none of y'all were at the game. None of y'all were watching, and you're lying if you say you were. Like all these guys sitting there talking about they know the Thunder. All these people lying. You weren't watching the games. You weren't at the games. We were. I was there watching these games, and I was sitting there going through the pain. Myself and Randy Wright, the commander, we're sitting next to each other just going crazy. Mark Long, we have 14,000 or something. No, we don't. We have 8. We have maybe 10. Ain't no 14,000. Ain't no 14,000 people here. Nobody was up in Loud City. Hardly anybody was in our club level seats where we were. Hardly nobody. But we were there. Half of the suites were closed. Mark Long and I were walking by the suites the other day. We go, this one's closed, this one's closed, this one's closed, this one's closed, this one's closed. We're laughing how all those suites are full now and all those suites were empty. And we were laughing at it now, saying that's funny. True to J-Dub and Caruso are key, but they know how to beat the zone. No, what happens is we needed somebody at the top of the key. When they double-teamed SGA and they played the zone, what we would do is we'd kick it to Josh, and Josh would make them pay. Then you didn't have anybody to really do that. And Caruso kind of could get there, but now with the addition of iHeart, you try that stuff on us, he's going to beat you up. And then they try to put SGA there and have somebody else give him the ball, but A.J. Mitchell's not quite ready yet, and he's still learning how to do the double-team thing, but I think he's coming along. Okay? Let me see. That's why this team will win a chip. Every time you scroll down on that video of Oklahoma City winning Game 7 and finally you see that, yeah, but you have one if Halliburton wouldn't have got hurt. Like I said the other day with that, I think we would have beat them anyway. I think that it would have been tougher, but I think we're going to with them because I don't think Halliburton's going to go and just keep shooting the ball like he was shooting. Just like any games, when you start out hot shooting a bunch of threes like that, you're not going to finish that way. So I wasn't really worried about that. The game would have been closer, but I believe that eventually they would have turned the ball over, and SGA would have did what he needed to do. Because I think he would have matched Halliburton, just like he did with Luka the other night. Luka started going, SGA starts going. If you go back and look, whenever the opposing best player starts going, SGA just says, boom, let me take over. Because when he takes over and starts scoring, our whole team goes, and everybody relaxes. That's the difference that he makes on this team. And that's the difference that he has for the Thunder. And that's why we are 14-1 right now. That's why our defensive rating, we're better. Like we're 103 something or whatever. And the next closest to us is the Nuggets at 109. And it's like funny. Number 2 is closer to number 20. Then number 1 is closer to number 2. Then 2 is to 1. There's very little separation between 2 and 20. There's a huge gap between 1 and 2. And that's what the Thunder do. Our defense eventually is going to wear you down. Plus, SGA plays every night. And the fact that he is on game, in fact, we were going to do this, and we're going to do it Wednesday night. We're going to do, and I'm going to do this on my Facebook page. What is the over-under? And I think I'm going to make it, because now he's at 8, so I've got to make it somewhat stupid. What's the over-under of SGA not playing in 25 fourth quarters? Because remember, we're playing a pretty easy schedule thus far for the most part. But what's the over-under in SGA playing, not playing the fourth quarter in 25 games? Remember, 3 years ago, 23-24, 5 games. 24-25, 14 games. And this year he's at 8 or 9. What is he at, 8 or 9 games in a row? I think 9. Something insane that he has not played the fourth quarter. And because I know I was looking at that. I think this is 9th game he has not played the fourth quarter out of 14. That's just crazy that he can get that much rest. I was talking to one of my kids at training today, and he's like, well, Coach, he doesn't play. I go, do you want SGA to play minutes now, or do you want him to rest up and be ready to play at the end of the year? What do you want? I want him to rest as many fourth quarter games as he possibly can. So when he gets to the end of the season, when the games get tougher, he's got the legs. He's not wore out because he played double overtime 2 games in a row where he played 88 minutes or something stupid that he played, or whatever, 92, whatever crazy number. Was it 44 and 40? Some crazy minutes that he, or 48, was it 48 and 44 or something? Whatever crazy number it was that he played the first 2 games. So yeah, I'm okay with that, and so are you guys. Yeah, somebody, he hated how they won the chip. Yeah, he's right. They didn't play well at all in the playoffs. Didn't play good at all. We should have been 84-17. We gave away 2 games. We should have beat the Nuggets in 5, and we should have beat the Pacers in 5. You take away game 1, you beat them in 5, both of them. You gave them game 1s, which made it go into game 7. And that's how it is. The Rockets and the Pacer games back to back killed us. But what does that say about what our team is? I think SGA has said, listen, I wasn't happy. I don't think they're happy now. I don't think the team is either. They all realize all of them played way below what they're capable of playing. I think they all realize that. I think they all realize that they've got a chip on their shoulder about what they need to accomplish this year. Now, I had over-under maximum at 70. I may have underestimated those guys. Let me see. After those first 201 games, yeah. Okay, but let's take it to the Pelicans. The Pelicans right now, to me, without Zion and without what's our guy's name? Jordan Poole. Without their other player, they missed 12 and 11 games this year. Zion just can't stay healthy, and you paid him all this money, and he can't stay healthy. Can't stay healthy. But you look at what the Thunder did. They've got to build a better team, and I believe Joe Dumars is going to do what he's got to do to try to build a team around what they've got there in New Orleans, because they've got some good. I like Trey Murphy. He can play. Fears, not a bad point guard. He's young. They've got some players, but he's a rookie. And what is Murphy, the 4th year? So you can get Zion in there. Hey, you got a squad. You can do some things. You can do some things there. I don't know if they will, but, they're a little bit snake bitten, I believe. I have a question. Why do people keep thinking Denver has a chance against Oklahoma City? Simply because they have Jokic. That's why. That's why. And picking up who they picked up, they got Bruce Brown back. They got Murray back. And Murray is a crazy person, in the playoffs. He's an insane person in the playoffs. So all of those things make Denver a possibility to beat the Thunder. That's why. Now, will that happen? I don't know about that. Mostly because of Jokic. Yes, it's mostly because of Jokic. It is. But what we bring to them, and this is why I said, the teams that scare me are Houston, and Denver doesn't really scare me that much because they don't. This is how I look at it. Teams that we have to play, okay, that we don't match up with them, I worry about. If you're doing what you do, which is what Dagnall was saying, we game plan to make sure we do what we do. Because if you're doing what you do, it doesn't matter what they do, because then they got to adjust to what you're doing, which is what he was saying, that's how my coach was. Hey, we don't worry about them. This is what they do. We're going to stop that, but let's do what we do. If we do what we do, we ain't got about what they're trying to do, because they got to adapt to us. Like the Green Bay Packer. You knew the damn sweep was coming, but you had to stop it. You knew that it was coming. The Green Bay sweep. You knew it was coming. This is what they played. You knew it was coming, but you couldn't stop it. And that's what the Thunder is. That's what the Thunder does. You know what's coming, but you got to stop it. I don't worry about Denver because they don't match up with us. I worry about Houston because we don't really play well against them. And then they've got, fortunately for us, Fred VanVleet is hurt. I'd really, really be worried about them right now. And I would have been worried about the Mavs, but they can't stay healthy. But they're a matchup nightmare for us when they get Kyrie back, which he should be back, they said, sometime in January. And then he could play now if it was a playoff. So end of December, January-ish. The Spurs, Wemby has that lower calf strain. That worries me. A lower calf strain equals what? Achilles tendon. Makes me a little nervous for him. I don't want him hurt. I want him to be playing because I just love what Wemby does. Jay Will was shut down. Jokic, no, he can't shut down Jokic. He never has been able to. Jokic just abuses him. Houston only scores because of Şengün. No, that's not true. Kevin Durant shut the door on them last night in the playoffs. In the end, he's a closer. Şengün's not a closer. KD's the closer. He was a closer for us. What everybody forgets is that KD led the league in game-winning, game-time shots for 4 out of 5 years, 4 of his last 5 years at Oklahoma City, 4 straight. So KD is the closer. Şengün is the guy that combination of those two together with Şengün and KD is a beast. But we do have what? We have a threesome. We have SGA, we have J-Dub, and we have Chet. So we've got, but Amen Thompson is coming along with him. Then you got Jabari, not bad. It's right there on the outside of that group. But Houston makes me the most nervous. Dallas was making me nervous, but we don't match up well with them. But I don't know if Houston is ready to make that jump because last year the only thing that was hurting them was somebody for a closer. They got that in KD. They got a closer now. He's the closer, not Şengün, not nobody else. He's the closest. He's the closer. Yeah, Chet was hurt. I'm not making excuses. We beat them anyway, but they're saying Houston. I'm saying SGA does not play well against Houston because of their length. These are facts. These are not something I'm just saying. These are facts. He does not play well against Houston. Amen Thompson gives him hell. Now, does he do what he needs to do? Yes, he can just go and he's going to score because he's SGA. But Houston makes me nervous because now they got KD, they have a closer. I'm not still as much nervous because they don't really have a point guard. If they have Fred VanVleet, I'd be really, really nervous. If they get a trade and get a point guard, Houston's going to be a handful. They're going to be a handful. You can be a KD hater all you want to, but he's going to be in my top 10 as far as greatest players of all time that I've seen when he finishes. I ain't putting nobody there until you're done and your career is over with. There's nothing like him. Nothing. Has never been before him. I don't know if we'll see anything like him afterwards. He is an absolute monster. So I don't want to hear all that nonsense about KD. That being said, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna stop and rest my voice. I'm just now starting to feel better, and I don't want to overheat and do something, go too far, because I'm just now finally feeling better. So I don't want to do something stupid and get sicker. So I appreciate you guys tonight, and we'll be back on Wednesday night after the game, and then of course tomorrow we'll do a recap on the Unpopular Hour tomorrow at noon. So Katie is not the third greatest scorer of all time. I don't know what that means. KD is, you can hate KD all you want to. You're not going to change my mind. KD is just, like SGA said when you watch the starting five, he is the first big man who does what he does. Wemby's coming along, but nobody does what KD does. He's ridiculous. He's a beast. He just is. Like you do. Yes, you do. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. I got to go. We'll see them and Chris